Greetings! I'm Catherine of Sky, and I hope to make your day refreshingly Swedish. So, today we're going to be talking about white nights, or the phenomenon of the midnight sun, as it's sometimes called. Here in Sweden, we are at a very high latitude compared to, well, pretty much every other country. We experience white nights, which is where we have daylight, where you might normally expect nighttime when you have nighttime hours. I don't know if you can hear the cat. She's very meowy. Anyway, yeah, we have daylight up until, I don't know, past 10:30, and then the sun finally, sort of sets. You can still see brightness in the northern part of the sky, and then the sun comes right back up at 3:20, but it gets light at like 2:30, 2 o'clock a.m. And it's really cool to see. So we're going to go outside and figure that out. But I wanted to explain how that works. So the Earth is tilted. And when the Earth goes around the sun, the tilt is kind of in relation to that. So in the summertime, in the northern hemisphere, the tilt is toward the sun. And therefore, all of the northern latitudes, and the more northernly you are, the more hours of sunlight you get. Now, it's the opposite in the southern hemisphere, because, of course, when one end is tipped toward the sun, the other end has to be tipped away. So, in the months of June and July, what northern hemisphere people think of as summer is actually winter in the southern hemisphere, and they have darkness and cooler temperatures because they're getting less sunlight. So yeah, that's how that works, and it's a really cool thing to see. So let's go out and see it. So I am out here, and it is, well, it's about 10:40. The sun set at 10:09, and I have not done anything to edit this video, but you can see the sky. Oops, let me tilt it upward. The sky is still quite bright. It's a bit crazy, and if you look northward, which is this way around, it's even brighter. It's kind of crazy. So yeah, it's brighter in the north than it is in the south. It's a bit odd, but you know, that's what we got in our white nights. So you know, Sweden is a lot higher latitude than it is in the United States, but yeah, it's really peculiar that the northern side of the sky is actually brighter than the south. Let's see if I can turn around again. And yeah, you can see it's a little bit darker on that side. I think it's a little bit darker than you see in the video, but it's, I mean, we don't need the street lights. You can see there's lights around, but you definitely don't need them at this time of day. But yeah, again, it's like almost 11 o'clock at night, so it's cool. I looked it up. I think the sunrise is about 3:30, 3:32 or something. But I'll probably try to get out at around 2:30 and see how light it is, and if that's worth sharing with you, or maybe wait a little bit longer to see when we actually have some light out. But it will get pretty dark in, I don't know, 45 minutes or an hour or something like that. Okay, we're back again, and it is about 1:15 a.m. and the sky, I think, is a little bit darker than it shows on the video. But if you look north, look at that. Isn't that crazy? In the north, it's actually much, much lighter in the sky. And there's a car passing. I hope you don't have to hear all that noise. I think the mic does a decent job, but just making noise. Anyway, but yeah, it's really kind of surreal to see that the north is lighter than the south. We've had these crazy auroras, or at least the possibility for auroras, but here in Sweden, if you go north, you can't see them because it's light all day long. But yeah, this is the darkest time of the night right now. It's 1 o'clock or 1:15 in the morning, and yeah, we still have light. I think that even though there are street lights out, I think it probably would be like visible. I don't think you need lights to see all this stuff out here. But yeah, it's kind of funky, kind of cool. So I just wanted to share that with you. I'll come out again when it's about 2 something. I'll keep my eyes on the windows and just see when it starts to get light. I think sunrise is at 3:26, but it does get light before sunrise. So anyway, yeah, that is the actual night sky. So it's me again. It's 2:35 and it's pretty bright outside. So that's the south view behind me. Let me just turn the camera around. Right. So this is the north view. You can see it's very bright. It's about 2:35. This is just an hour and a half after we had total darkness. Let's go around to the other side again. Yeah, I think the video is just a tiny bit lighter than it is outside, but it's bright enough to see without lights for sure. We don't need the street lights. It's very bright, and that's the north side again. I find this like totally remarkable and cool. So the sun has not yet officially risen. That will be in about 45 minutes or so, but you can see how bright the sky is. And we've got the birds singing and well, squawking, if you will. And yeah, everybody's asleep except for me, I think. There's a couple people with lights on in their windows, but yeah, it's this is what white nights are all about. It's pretty cool. And yeah, it's just, there's a few cars. I don't know what the heck people are doing this late at night. There's nothing open. But yeah, maybe they're just enjoying the brightness in the skies. So yeah, and keep in mind that I live near Stockholm, which is not even very far north in Sweden. It's very kind of like middle of Sweden. And but this is a phenomenon that we enjoy. Again, the latitude is much higher than the US, well, the continental US, except for Alaska. Alaska will have some white nights like this as well. Hey, so I am back in my apartment and I've just been outside. I took these couple of photographs, which I'm going to superimpose over my face. Yeah, these were taken at 3:47, and as you can see, it is bright as day outside. They even turn off the streetlights because you really don't need them. You can see everything. As a reminder, Stockholm is around 59 degrees north, which is putting it way, way up there. So that's why we have all these lovely white nights. I keep thinking polar nights, but usually when people say polar nights, they mean the dark side, which we will have those as well. I'll do a video on those when we get to that, and that obviously is going to be in December when we have the winter solstice. But yeah, today is, well, today is now Friday, June 21st, and officially the solstice was on the 20th this year. I recorded this over the solstice timing, the longest day of the year. Of course, that's the longest day in the northern hemisphere. In the southern hemisphere, the longest day is going to be around December, because the seasons and all the stuff are flipped because of the way the earth works. It's not flat. It ain't flat. So anyway, no pizza-shaped earth. So yeah, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Do let me know what you think about it. Do you think it's weird? Do you think it's fun? Do you like the idea? Me personally, I feel like it's very natural. I grew up and I lived my whole life with quote unquote normal hours, more or less the same kind of day and night time hours. In the summer, yeah, there's a few more hours of daylight, but not like this. But for whatever reason, it just feels right. Maybe because I'm just meant to be Scandinavian. I don't know. But yeah, let me know what you think. Do you want more daylight hours? Do you want to mow the lawn until midnight? Because that's a possibility here. It's definitely a thing. And yeah, let me know what you think. Because I'm sure a lot of people, most people are going to be living outside of this kind of region where you have these really extended daylight hours. And anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. And yeah, you got to see a little bit of my universe over here. And yeah, so thank you so very much for joining me. Take care of yourselves and each other, and I'll see you next time.